The Raptors take this one 114-104 over the Washington Wizards, live from Real Sports. Welcome to Raptors Tonight. I'm Randy Urban, joined by Sherman, Hamilton, Alvin Williams, and Akil, Augustine. That's nice. I think that was for you, the applause, just for you. I'm going to start with you, Al. Wizards go 38 in the third. What impressed you about how the Raptors reclaimed the game there in the fourth?
I think the lineup that was in there, I think with Christian Coloco, Jeff Downton Jr., Chris Boucher, Scotty Barnes, I can't remember.
OG.
It was a defensive lineup. And you didn't think the shots were going to start flowing like that, but defensively they start getting stops. They really start contesting everything. They got into the ball. So they did a lot from the defensive side, and that lineup really just led the charge for them to stop that Wizards run and then get a run on their own.
Akil?
Well, I knew it was coming. Like, it's due.
Yeah.
I didn't think that Wizards team had enough to keep it up. So that was kind of their one shot. They came out of the third quarter and they kind of hit a couple of threes, got a couple of turnovers. But once that Raptors group locked in, the same group he talked about, I think it was good. I was impressed with not just the defense, but again, that same group kind of finding their offensive identity. But it was due. It was bound to happen. That Wizards team does not have a lot to shoot with.
No, were you happy with the way they defended Kristaps Porzingis? Obviously, he was the feature offensive weapon. I mean, Corey Kispert was good too, but, you know, were you happy with the way the Raptors he had 26, but.
That's kind of what he's been doing.
Yeah.
About 27 a game when Bradley Beal's not in the lineup.
Right.
So he gets more shots, more attention offensively.
But he's not winning you any games that way, right?
And ultimately, that's the goal. So, yeah, he got some numbers, but the Raptors did what they were supposed to do. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm sure they wouldn't have liked that third quarter to go down the way it did, but they closed it out. And I thought what was good about it was Nick Nurse didn't have to come back with Fred VanVleet and Pascal Siakam to start the fourth, because those guys that Alvin talked about, they held the fort, they took control of the game defensively, and they were able to score offensively. And when you leave OG in the game, who had a great first half, you have an offensive scorer, and Scotty Barnes gives him some chance to get into ball handling situations, decision-making plays, and that's what you need. And I thought that their defense really just took over.
Yeah, staggering that starting five really gives a lot of those guys opportunities to get off and get their game going. And you see OG responded with, what do you have, 29?
Yeah, 29, and he had 18 in the first quarter, which was a career high. Do you feel like he's, I don't want to say turned the corner, because I feel like it's been a good season overall, but his shooting's been off the charts lately.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think it's a streak. I think this is who he is.
This is it, yeah.
I think, you know, the team is doing a good job of finding him. He's in good rhythm, and it happens. Like, if you're a good player, if you're a talented player, and your opportunities come, that's when the consistency comes. You know, he's been healthy. He's been someone that can make the outside shot. Defensively, he's always locked in and dialed in. But I just think the Raptors are doing a good job, especially when Fred is managing the game once again. And you can now start pinpointing where the ball is going to go at times, how the offense is going to flow at times, because you have that one person handling the balls for the majority of the time.
So, on that point, this guy watching live on YouTube, Malcolm, I'm not going to say that name, I don't know how to say it. Loves seeing Anunoby establish himself like that. His offensive upside is starting to show. Akil, when you look at his game, what's next? Like, what do you want from him offensively?
Well, I mean, I think the one thing people have been concerned about with OG was his handle, and he's tightened that up, and that comes with more opportunity, finding a rhythm on the court. But again, like, listen, he's one of the best defenders in the league. Top-notch 3-and-D guy. And on a team that has Fred VanVleet, has Pascal Siakam, the opportunities aren't there for him to always be a guy who's going to get the opportunity to do shot creation. So shot creation is really the one thing that you really want to see more of in certain situations. But this Raptors team, it's different night to night. It's dictated on who has the best matchup, where the opportunities are, what the identity is that night. But there's not much more you could ask for from OG. Every time his number's called, he answers. He rings the bell when they say, OG Anunoby, can you step up? So, I mean, what more can you ask for from a guy who's, you know, kind of found his niche in a group that has a lot of individual scores?
Well, he's a shooter, he's a scorer. You were a shooter and a scorer when you played, right?
No, but go on.
Obviously, when he gets his feet set, he's money, right? Can you see him on pin downs, coming off screens, movement shots?
Well, I see his game evolving.
Yeah.
If that's what you're asking me. I mean, you understand that OG started out a different player than he is today.
Yeah.
I mean, now he's putting the ball on the floor.
Yeah.
He's doing things off the dribble. So I expect OG to continue to develop his game. And where that is, yes, it could be about a guy coming off of pin downs and attacking. But sometimes you're in a certain pecking order in an offense.
Yeah, that's key.
And when you're in that pecking order, you play that role. And if it changes, if you alter it, and that's why the summertime is so important, because if guys put the work in and they come back to training camp and they show that they can do some different things, coach is like, okay, I got some other options with this player. So, and OG's work ethic is phenomenal. So I just expect his game to continue to evolve, regardless of what that looks like. Maybe not be able to pinpoint what it will look like, but his game is going to get better.
I think when you look at the bigger picture, are the Raptors the best when OG's ball handling? Like,
Right.
what version of this team is the best? Like, when guys are in their specific roles, how does the group work best for everybody? And so you can't just pinpoint, well, OG needs to dribble, drive, and handle and do this, because what if that takes away from something someone else does? What if that puts other guys off their rhythm? So really, the real key for the Raptors is, when is he his best with this group, with this complement of players? You saw him with a different lineup tonight, he took more control. But if he's in there with Fred, Pascal, maybe it's not that you're asking for of him.
We saw he had a double pump reverse dunk. We saw Scotty with a 360 dunk, and then Boucher with a putback. Those were basically the three dunks of the night that were impressive. Do you have a favorite here, Sherm, Al, Akil?
I like all three of them because they all went through the bucket.
Yeah, this would impress me. I didn't think this was coming.
I go with the Scotty Barnes one. It's the highest risk to reward ratio,
Ooh, I like
360.
that. The
Let
360.
me ask you this.
Yeah.
I play with Vince Carter. Those are like school guy layups. Right?
Well, here's what I want to ask you. I agree with you 100%, but I want to ask you
Nothing
this.
new to me.
Early in the game,
All
if
right.
a guy does a 360 early in the game, doesn't that kind of irritate you?
What, as a
As
player, the other team?
on the other team, wouldn't that just kind of irritate you? Like you're starting to show already.
Vince did it.
You know what I mean?
Vince did it in transition. Remember that? That was crazy.
Like I said, I've seen it. It wouldn't irritate me. A lot of things these young players, this younger generation, that they do, it irritates me. So I don't think that will be one of them. But
Yelling
you know,
at the clouds. That's you.
I don't like the little small things.
Yeah, I
The little-
hate that.
they-
Patrick
too
Beverly did
small.
that to LeBron tonight.
Yeah, no, that's
That's
exactly. Like, all that, man. But yeah, those dunks right there, I give those dunks like C minuses.
C minus.
No, I'm with you. There's nothing special about them.
Yeah.
Like those aren't crazy dunks.
Yeah.
You like that dunk, though, right?
No, I mean, I just.
You said you did.
Well, the Boucher
I
one
like
was
the
in
Boucher
traffic.
one. I like
it was
the
in
Boucher
traffic.
one.
There were
Yeah.
bodies.
We're
There were
back.
bodies contested.
Yeah. You're right. When you break it down like that, when you say, okay, I played with Vince Carter, I mean, I can't say that, you can't say that, you can't say that. So it's a different.
But you saw it.
I watched.
saw it.
I saw
watched.
it. I
was there.
saw it.
Yeah.
I saw it just like you.
Yeah, I remember at that point, I was in university, I was calling my dad, I'm like, I was seeing things I've never seen on a court before. Like, ever. That's what it was like watching him.
Are we breaking out your dunk footage again? Is that
No,
what's
no,
going to
no,
happen? I
that's
feel like
the-
you're
that's
angling
the-
for some more
Yeah,
dunk
it's
Seems
no
like a
dunk
lead up
footage.
to that, doesn't it?
Is there some grainy, like VHS Betamax footage of Randy apparently dunking in a warm-up?
Can you touch the rim?
Me? I can touch it. Just give me a ladder.
Personally.
Fred had a nice hesitation move
Yes.
in that
He was
third
working
quarter.
that crossover tonight.
Any memories of your playing days when you see
No.
something like that?
Nope.
No.
That was it. But that's coming off of pulling up for transition threes.
Ooh.
He almost crumbled my man. He almost crumbled him. But that, Fred's been really good handling the basketball.
Yeah.
Has it on the string, being patient, weaving in and out of the lanes, snake dribbling around, hesitation. But when you can shoot off the dribble like that, you'll keep a defender off balance all night.
He kind of reminds me a little bit like Steve Nash when he was, navigating inside the paint. Like he's
Nashing, as they call it.
holding the dribble a long time, penetrating, probing, waiting for the right.
And Fred's got all the counters.
Yeah.
Like you cut him off, he's got something for you.
Using that up and
You
under
sit
all
on
the
the
time.
crossover, he's got
Yeah.
something for that. He creates space, he's got the counters and the change of speed, and he's got the trickery with the ball. And if you just have a foot race with Fred, you're not going to think he's the fastest. But the way he hits gears with the ball in his hands, he looks extremely fast. And that's what Steve Nash did a lot well, too. When Steve Nash changed gears, the ball was there the whole time. Like there was no looseness of the basketball. That creates the look of efficiency and quickness. Fred has that as well. That ball is on a string, and when he changes gears and he explodes, he looks that much quicker.
Yeah.
And the thing about Steve would keep you off balance with his ability to pass. Like he'll have her hair, like he'll dip it here, drop it there, like, and everyone's, so you always had to pay attention, like no matter what. And everyone around you had to pay attention. As soon as you fell asleep, Steve was going to take advantage of that. But Fred does more as a scorer mentality. I'm going to get in here, I'm going to hold you at bay, I'm going to use my body up and under, whatever the case may be, and try to score the ball. You rarely see Fred drop it like Steve dropped it.
Yeah.
And you rarely see Steve score it like Fred scores it like that in the middle. Although Steve could score the ball, but he really wanted to facilitate and pass that ball a bit. You would know better than me because
He was a recipient.
I missed a lot of shots. Let's just put it that way. I missed a lot of shots. We're still friends, though.
I wouldn't be your friend if you
I
kept
know you
missing all
wouldn't. I know you wouldn't. That speaks to the person
lost plenty
he
of
is, and
friends.
you
He's a
ain't.
nice guy.
And you ain't.
You're not a nice person?
He said that.
I didn't say anything like
He
that.
said,
You
"You're not
said
a
it
nice
with
guy."
food in your mouth.
I didn't say that. I didn't.
He said, you missed a lot of shots?
I said I missed a lot of shots.
I
saw my-
I lost a lot of friends.
I
missed
saw
shots.
my sister today, and she was worried that you were being too mean to me.
I don't care about that.
Wow. Everybody can get it. Everybody can get it.
And,
I call my sisters too. You ain't the only one with sisters.
you know what I missed on the last
sister's
show?
better than
On the last show, when my dad was in the background, I said, he's strong. And he goes, at least somebody in the family is. I saw
Shots
that.
fired at our director and our
I thought
host.
that was funny. Yeah.
No, I agree. Broski all right over there.
Christian's good.
Man, Broski cool.
All right. We got a
He
question.
go back like reclining seats.
We got a question from the YouTube audience. Shirkan, question for the panel. Do you think the Raps are going to convert Doughton to a full contract for the playoffs, seeing the play he brings to the team is good?
Wow, you read that?
All right, he didn't. He messed up.
Barely
the question
read
a little
it.
bit.
University of
He messed up
Toronto.
the question.
Shout out.
Barely read it.
Reading comprehension.
I read at a sophomore level. Go ahead.
Je-
Do you think
High school sophomore?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'll say Jeff Downs is a baller.
Oh,
I
for
saw his
sure.
value with the 905 this year, and obviously he's not the same player that he is with the 905 that he is with the big club. But you saw his value in the minutes that he played. He's able to compete on the defensive
He
end.
looks bigger to me. I don't like. He's in the weight room. I don't know.
Definitely, they do a
He
good
looks
job
stronger.
training. I think the one thing for him is being more aggressive at the three-point line. That's one thing that the
Well, he hit a
organization-
big three tonight.
Yeah, he hit a big one. But that's I think one
big.
thing that they've been trying to coach him up because that's really a big part of your game as a guard at that next level. But will they convert him? I mean, I trust this front office, but I think there's an opportunity there for him definitely.
You like his game?
I love it.
Yeah. All right, great.
Talk to him.
Let the man digest. Let him swallow.
Like last
Mid
time,
bite.
Chicken was a little dry. I'm sorry, not dry.
just got caught.
It got caught.
No worries.
Like last time we talked about Jeff Dowton, I mentioned that the word that comes to mind is poised. He's always just poised. He's not shaken by situations, and end the shot clock, he can find a shot. And that's what I really like about him. He's not going to just throw it up there. He's going to manipulate it to a shot. And guys who can operate on the back end of the shot clock like that, those guys, especially when they're young, it's impressive. And he can defend. And he could be a part of a rotation that can help this team. And you know this. There's minutes in the playoff games where some guy can be a hero at some juncture. Just play a brand of basketball for the short time they're on the floor that either holds the fort or takes the team to the next level. And
And
he
it could
looks
be like a
one of those
5-minute
guys.
stint,
Yeah,
right?
he looks like one of
Or
those
even
guys.
shorter.
Yeah.
Don't expect much more than that.
But to your point, defensively, he's very, very good defensively, and that's how he's earning his minutes. He's not hurting the team when he comes in there from the defensive end. And as a
I think he's
defensive
big
player,
enough.
he's on the ball. He competes. He has long arms. He contests shots. He does all of those things. And then the offense is going to start. He's going to start displaying the offensive side as well. But defensively, that's how he's starting to get these. He's coming in the game like he was one of the first rotation guys in the game today. Right. So he's earning it. He's earning the trust from the coaches.
All right, let's do a question from the audience. Who we got? All right.
Oh,
Come in.
doing the limbo to get on the show.
Yeah. I couldn't.
Tell
I
us,
had to walk all the way
tell
around.
us your name, introduce yourself, and how you know the Toronto Raptors panel.
Well, my name's John.
Hi, John.
Big fans of the show, big fans of the Raptors, and my daughter does open gyms. So,
She does, Jenna.
does,
Shout out to
so,
Jenna.
Shout out to Jenna one time.
Yeah,
She's awesome.
Jenna.
Go team.
so,
She's a star in this league. I'll tell you
Pops is
that
in
right
shape,
now.
Jenna.
That's great.
Pops is in
Yeah,
shape.
My wife's a big fan of the show too.
Got the guns out.
Sherm says you're in shape.
Pops
What's
is
the
right.
what's the
He got the
secret?
guns out.
P90X?
Well, I thought I was going to be on the show tonight, so I thought of it.
There's some push-ups in there.
A few hundred
Tie his
push-ups
shirt out.
before coming here. You know, it's tough. I'll feel it tomorrow, though.
Yeah.
So, gentlemen, you know, I've been really impressed with Coloco lately. Like, you know, I think he brings in, you know, a great energy to the team. Do you guys see him, you know, taking on a more active role as the season winds down? And is there a particular area of his game that he can work on to help the Raptors make it through the at least that play-in position? So,
It's a good question. Good question.
Well, I like the way he's played as of late. I think his time in the 905 has really helped him. I think they've kind of just taken the approach, and this is just my opinion, I don't know this, of the less is more, and just allow him to play defense and just kind of focus on that end of the floor. And offensively, get it off the glass, get it off a drop-off. Don't try to do too much. And I think for him, it's been really good. But even in tonight's game, I thought his activity was great on the defensive end. And when we talk about a Jeff Doughton, even a Christian Coloco, there could be moments in a game where you need his length to protect the rim. And if he can have those spot minutes in there where he does some good things, we know Nick Nurse will kind of give him a bit more leash to go out there and try some things. So you want to find out down the stretch what he is and how much he can contribute at any given time, and they're giving him the opportunity.
that's a great point. I like him out there with Boucher, too. So,
A lot of length, activity.
They do a good job as a tandem when one is defending, the other one is rebounding, and vice versa, instead of like being in the same spot at the same time all the time and then giving up an offensive board or whatever the case. They both use their length really nicely. But I think if he got on your workout plan, he gets stronger. I think that's the biggest thing this summer is getting stronger. Because when he goes against the bigger guys, when he's needed, he gets bullied a little bit and under the basket, which takes away his shot blocking ability. But I think that's something, the strength piece this summer he can improve in. And then, once again, when he does have those mismatches, I think it'll be good for him to now get it off the glass, to your point. Don't say I want the ball against a smaller guy. Just let everyone operate, and then you go dominate on the offensive glass against smaller competition. So
awesome.
Yeah, and
He's good.
Speaking of his development, as bad as the acquisition of Jakob Poeltl is for his minutes, it's going to be great for his long-term development because now he's got a guy who's been in the trenches, big body, strong guy who he has to compete with day in, day out. And I think, too, it gives him an example of exactly what looks good in that position playing with this group. So he's got another guy who's really successful playing at that 5 spot that he can look at and say, okay, when Jako's in there, what's he doing? What position is he taking? How is he initiating? And that's going to lend well because he's got, you know, he was probably the only true center on the roster before, so it was kind of a different look for the entire team when he won on the court. But now you got a guy who's another true center. You can look at those minutes, look at that tape, and say, okay, I want to replicate some of that.
You're right on. Pirtle's done great. So
Yeah.
thanks very much, guys.
Thanks, John. Before you go, you get to take a shot on the
right.
on the net. Are you up for that?
I'm up for that.
Can we
sure.
see your form before?
Well, I'll
Because I
try.
don't want to give this. Let me see. What is your
The
shot
man
like?
shoot the ball.
Oh, he tucks the
Okay,
elbow.
oh,
Tucks
that's-
the elbow.
That's
It's
pretty
tight.
good, right?
It's tight.
Follow through here.
That's pretty good. All right, no, come up to the line. Come up to the line. Yeah. Yeah. You can practically dunk it from there.
All right, let's see it. Oh,
No,
oh!
you get two more chances. Two more chances. Yeah, why not?
Okay, you got fouled on a 3.
This is for an appetizer or a drink, whatever you want. Or
Just give him the
drinks.
food. Oh!
Okay, no, it did not. But you can shoot one more
We
time.
got the money in the budget. We could just give him the food.
This was for Jenna's career.
You gotta dance for your dinner on this show, eh?
Good try. Good try.
Jeez.
Sherm said this is for Jenna's career.
I'm yet to take a
I thought
shot,
I'd
by the
motivate
way.
him. It's his daughter on the line, so I thought I'd motivate him.
That is a lot of
That's not a regulation rim, by the way. I think if it was a regulation
Yeah.
rim, you would have
Jenna's
got
safe.
it.
Pretend
She's
that
safe.
second one went in. That's what we'll do.
Jenna's safe.
I'm yet to take a shot on this show, by the way.
You want to take a shot right
Nah,
now?
I'm not getting
Yeah.
up right now.
Oh, yeah, take it. Take it right
Take it
now.
from here?
Yeah.
I might break all of your equipment.
Leo made
Okay,
it
you're
from
gonna
Alvin's
hit that
table.
first of all.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna hit that. Well, actually, no, my shot's flat as heck. I got no arc.
Yeah, don't hit
Ready?
the camera either.
I don't know, man. This is like a well-contested shot. There's no way
Because
this.
it's contested because you're shooting it.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Sherm.
Hey,
Oh,
hey,
oh!
hey.
Someone's gonna get
yeah,
hurt. No, I'm good.
rebound.
I'm good.
John with the rebound. We got air ball after
You
air
look like the
ball.
Washington Wizards out here.
All right.
No, I'm good. I'm gonna retire.
All right. Okay, so the Atlanta Hawks lost. So the Raptors and the Hawks have the same record. What's so funny over here? You
I'm
guys.
just laughing at this. I was laughing at
guys.
that.
What's going on with you?
They got their own show
Yeah,
going
they got a little. We gotta have a show.
No, we did that. We
did
tried
have a
that.
show,
They
yeah.
canceled us.
So the Raptors and Hawks both 37-38, but of course the Hawks have the tiebreaker, so they're occupying the 8th position. At this point, the Hawks are not playing well, and they haven't been playing well the last half of the season. It's like win, loss, 2 wins, 2 losses. I like the Raptors' chances to overcome that deficit and get a game up on the Hawks. Are you guys with me on this?
I'm with you.
Thank you.
I'm 100% with you. Trae Young's checking out. His attitude's looking worse and
He
worse.
threw a ball at a ref the other day.
I mean, they're calling him a coach killer. I think that's definitely had some impact on the locker room. I don't know. I think the Raptors have a good chance of securing that spot
Well,
without the tiebreaker.
Sorry, I don't know about Trae Young in this situation. I think the Raptors are a better team than Atlanta.
Yep.
And I think that if they were to face each other in the playoffs, play-ins, whatever it is, I think the Raptors can handle them. What's happening over there, I don't know, but this is conversation for us. Those guys have other things to focus on. They got to look at Miami and say, how do we beat Miami? They can't really worry about standings like that. Now, they're aware of it, and I'm sure they have conversations. But it doesn't matter if they don't take care of business, right?
Funny you say that. Eli Aldridge. Arledge. Sorry, guys. My pronunciation is not what it used to be.
Ever.
What do the Raptors need to do to take a W from the Miami Heat, and what do we really need to do to lock in down the stretch here, Alvin?
I don't know. To be honest with you, it's so up and down at times, right? You just don't know. You look at a Wizards team, they have a 38-point quarter.
Yeah.
And you just don't know what you're going to get at times. You know what you have, and you know what you will want from the unit, but every time, all I know is every time Miami and Toronto plays, it's a drag them out game. They
Yes.
play hard. It's a physical game. It's always like a playoff atmosphere. So it's going to be a really good game. And I just think the Raptors, to Sherman's point, I think the Raptors had enough from a talent standpoint and from a roster standpoint to beat all of these teams.
Right.
All of these teams.
Right.
That's about, being healthy, and it's about how they come out. And Sherm said it the other day, it's about being focused. It's about having that sense of urgency. And if they don't come out with that sense of urgency, then you're always going to be trailing or fighting to get back. This is the NBA, and it's been happening since the beginning of time.
5-2 in the last 7. Does feel like they're tightening the screws on some things.
Well, I think Alvin hit the nail on the head. Is you don't know, because simply you look at the teams that are grouped up in this section, whether Washington falls out, Atlanta, Toronto, Miami. You look at Toronto, Miami, and you think these rosters are better than where they are in the standings. Way better. So it's a matter of there have been some disappointing nights where they just didn't bring it. And then you look at Washington, and I'm surprised Washington is as close to Toronto as they are. You look at Atlanta, and I'm surprised they are where they are, like Sherm said earlier. So it's really been about who's been the most consistent. The consistent teams rise to the top, and so maybe whichever team finds a consistent identity towards the end of this year is obviously going to take that spot.
All right, great stuff today, guys. I appreciate you guys doing the show. Thanks for coming on, Akil. Love having you on as
Thanks
well.
for dinner.
Yeah.
He had to eat.
How was the salad? It's good?
It's good.
Yeah, this is 2 times in a row you've had a salad. Are you training for something? You got a marathon coming
You got
up?
a fight?
Spartan run?
Fight every
Yeah.
day, brother.
Every day is a fight.
Every day is a fight.
I'm going to enjoy this burger. You can have your salad.
It's a fight?
Every day is a fight.
All right. Next game for the Raptors. Every time I look at you, it just makes me laugh. I don't know why. It's a nice feeling. Next game for the Raptors, Tuesday night in Toronto against the Miami Heat. Tip-off goes at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Be sure to come by Real Sports, be part of the show, try to make a shot on the net, hang out with Alvin. Are you back next time?
Some people just don't know, huh?
Thanks for watching.
the
See you
ball.
next time.
Make a shot.
Make one. Over the top, air ball. Here we go.